So he was asked what exactly precisely were the Irans opposing, because if you recall, even in JCPOA, the Iranians had convinced Americans that they will not pursue the nuclear weapons. They had allowed IAEA inspections, and when Donald Trump essentially canceled and withdrew from the JCPOA, even the US intelligence was very clear that Iran was in complete compliance with the conditions in terms of the JCPOA, which is it was not pursuing nuclear weapons. But of course, the anomaly of then why do you have such a large amount of 60% enriched uranium when for civilian purposes you don't need to enrich even above 20%. So that was the sticking point for all of these reasons. In fact, you could argue the most fundamental reason why we have had this war is that particular anomaly. And I think that has not been resolved. I think that that both sides discussed with both points in their hands, the 10 points from the Iranians and the 15 points from the United States. And I think that there is something going on behind the scenes, and I think both the parties are going back to their countries to discuss with their supreme leaders in Iran and in the United States, because there might be some hope and some concessions which only I don't think JD Vance wants to take that step himself unilaterally. He wants to convince Trump and say, okay, accept these things. And I think the same thing that the Iranians are trying to do, to go back to Iran and then, in consultation with their supreme leader, make some concessions. But I think this is not the end of it. There is still time. The 2 weeks are not over. The war is not going to start right away. So the negotiations are up. This particular round of negotiations, I think, has not yielded an ultimate result. It doesn't mean that the negotiations have failed. As I've already pointed out, that the biggest advantage or the biggest development was that for the first time since 19 between the United States and Iran. So that is a huge progress, I think. And so I think going forward, that is what it is going to be, even though at some point this also became a trilateral dialogue, which means that Pakistan is going to have some role in monitoring the implementation of whatever would be agreed.